So I'm going to ask a couple of questions and then I'm going to throw it open to you guys. So when I do, if you could put your hands up real high, I'll pick people up. Shih-Ching, Sean, congratulations. Really beautiful, special, tender, amazing piece of storytelling. An incredibly accomplished debut as well. I want to ask you about the kind of genesis of the project and how it came together, but first of all, I want to ask you, Shih-Ching, are you left-handed?
I was left-handed, and I got corrected very, very early in kindergarten, so I didn't even know until my grandfather, saw me use a knife with my left hand. So he told me, do not use left hand, it's devil's hand. So at that point, I was like, oh wow, maybe I was left-handed. So I always remember what he said to me, and that's how I told Sean, and he thought it was a great idea to start a film script.
So the story is quite personal and sort of comes from you in that sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. I didn't really experience that, early on, but throughout growing up in Taiwan, and also when I found Nina, a lot of people told me before I made this film, they said, oh, left-handed couple doesn't exist anymore. So, I told them, well, that's my story. I'm gonna make my story. So when I cast Nina, and that was 2022, she was 6. And the first day on set, her mother told me, Nina was left-handed. Wow. She was born left-handed, and her grandmother didn't like it, so we corrected her. So we had to retrain her use left-handed. Yeah. So after every take, everybody just like, okay, well, which hand did she use? We had to really pay attention to that. But happily, when I went back to Taiwan in the summer, I talked to the mom. We had a play day with my daughter, and I asked the mom about the left-handed situation, and she told me her grandmother was so surprised. Like, how can you make a movie out of a left hand? Left-handed girl is a movie that she just couldn't believe. So after that, she stopped correcting her. So now she found her left hand back.
Amazing. Yay! Amazing. What a great story. That's brilliant. And you touched a little bit there on the casting, and obviously the film's kind of strength and energy core are these 3 central performances, and there's not really a lead. It's really the 3 of them kind of really evenly carrying the film. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you cast all 3 of your leads?
Well, because working on Sean's film, every film we did street casting, so that I feel like that's my strength. So I wanted to do the same in Taiwan, and to find this older sister Ian, I couldn't be in Taiwan because I live in New York, and I have to take my daughters to school, so I can't really go to Taiwan to do that long process. So I just went out to Instagram. I thought, well, maybe I'll type a Taiwanese girl or Taiwanese model, I'll find something. So that's how actually I found Shih-Yuan. She played Yan, and she was amazing. Like on set, she was. We have a scene like she cried in the scene. And after she cried the first time, she just said, oh, wait a minute, I want to cry the second time, I want to try something different. At that point, I knew, wow.
Yeah, she's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, and this is actually her very first acting role.
Nina had more experience than she had.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And just having edited the film, I wasn't there on set, so I was getting this material and looking at it, and you would never know that she wasn't a professional. I mean, like, the way that she would give you, well, she gave you, alts with every take, something different with every take. Really, just her level of professionalism it's already there. She's already a professional, which is really, and now her career is good. I can't wait to see what she does next and where her career goes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And is it Janet Tsai?
Yeah, Janet Tsai. She's actually a very known actor in Taiwan. She started as a model, and then she turned into a TV actress. And I remember that when I was about to shoot a film, and she just won Best Supporting Actress in the TV Emmy in Taiwan. So I watched one of her interviews. She was talking about she wanted to take on some other roles she never acted before, and she wanted a challenge. So I saw that, and I told my producer, just please reach out to her because she wants challenge. Let's see if she would take the challenge. I know she never acted the role like the mother in the film, and she took that challenge.
She certainly did. And you two have collaborated for a long time across a lot of your projects, which you directed, Sean, and this is your directorial debut, but you co-wrote, co-produced, and edited. So, can you tell us a little bit about how your sort of creative partnership works?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, Shih-Ching and I co-directed Takeout over, 22 years ago? Oh my God. I think that film really taught us everything about guerrilla filmmaking and guerrilla indie filmmaking. It was just us two making that film together, and so we had to wear every hat. And we've continued to take that onto every project. And so through my films, Shih-Ching has, the films I've directed, Shih-Ching has been a casting director. She's done wardrobe, costume design. She's continuity, script, everything, basically everything. And so I think that everything has led to Left-Handed Girl, and which is incredible because Left-Handed Girl was the first idea we ever had. Way back we met in '99 at the New School, and one of the first ideas that Shih-Ching presented was Left-Handed Girl, and I found it intriguing. When she told me that her grandfather scolded her and said that her left hand was her devil hand, we immediately thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we showed how a little girl would take that literally and where that would go. And we realized then that we just didn't have the money to make this. It was too big of an idea. So we made that little $3,000 film Takeout, and it took, 20 something years to get financing for this film.
Wow. Some journey. Okay, let's have some questions from the audience. So, this guy in the front row was the quickest. Keep your hands up so that I can...
Thank you. Amazing film. So, I think because I think the show has a very special or close relationship to the Chinese community in the US, and this film is a very Taipei story, and you co-write it. I just want to ask, how does it feel like to write together a story about the local life of Taipei, and how the collaboration of writing works? How do you sort of contribute, I guess, to the sort of authenticity of the film?
Oh yeah, this process started very early. In 2001, we went back to Taiwan the first time because Sean never been to Taiwan before. So I was determined to show him what Taiwan night market looks like. How the video night stand looks like. So that was the very first time we went back. And then we made Takeout, and after Takeout released in theater in 2008, we thought, well, maybe we can try to make Left-Handed Girl again. So 2010, we went back to Taiwan. We stayed there for a month, so he can experience the life, and we also we started doing location scouting. Also, we did a casting with the college students. And we went to all the night markets, and we found this one you just saw on the screen. And we actually ran into this little girl, and she was super cute. She was 5, and she's running around, and we followed her back to her mom's stand. We made friends with them, and we even made the trailer with her in it. And later on, we took the trailer as a visual example. So we went to a different film market to try to find an investor, but we couldn't. We didn't find anything. So I just keep on working on short film, also perfecting my filmmaking skills. It's almost like a Sean Baker film school for me because I never went to a film school to learn filmmaking. So I think that's a very special kind of partnership. And finally, after Red Rocket, we went back to Cannes, and we got support there, and also we got support from Taiwanese government. We got the Film Fund and Taipei Film Commission that have this international production fund. So that makes everything happen. You see on the screen.
Yeah, it was Red Rocket that kind of opened. It was what opened the doors for financing, because competition at Cannes, and I think that's what did it. but to answer your question regarding the co-writing, this is obviously Shih-Ching's story, and everything comes from Shih-Ching. And so I was just in a place where it was a pleasure to be presented all these wonderful ideas, and for us to work together to find a structure and fictionalize things. We have the same sensibility when it comes. We have the same affinity for certain genres of filmmaking. You know, we love British social realism. I think you'll see Mike Leigh all over this movie. Dogma 95 was obviously incredibly important to us. It allowed us to make Takeout, which wasn't an official Dogma 95 film, but it gave us the permission to make this tiny little movie that really launched our careers. And so we just, when you co-write, you have to find somebody with the same sensibility, you know? You're just, and you're bouncing ideas off of one another and creating this world together. But the world initially came from Shih-Ching, and it was so hard not to fall in love with Taipei. I don't know if any of you have been there, but it's an incredible city. And when I first landed there in 2001, I'm like, oh my God, this night market is incredibly cinematic, and that extravagant karaoke room is so cinematic, and that Bin Lan stand is so cinematic. It was like it was calling us, and so I was happy to be a part of it.
I most definitely want to go to Taipei, having seen the film twice now.
It was sort of our goal to have people fall in love with Taipei through this movie.
We've got one here, and then there's a lady just there. We'll go there next.
I just wanted to hear about what it was like shooting in the night market, and also which night market it was.
Well, the night market is called Tonghua Night Market. So it's actually in the middle of the very, I would say, kind of rich area, you know. And so it's actually in the middle of like pretty nice area, and you have this long strip of night market. It was a very interesting shoot because, you know, I was determined to film this, make this film in the real night market, and we had to hide our crew and our camera so people don't get around. You know, when they see camera, they were just like, "Oh, what are you doing?" You know, nobody wants to leave. The first day of the filming night market, we have around 20 people crew, and when they gather, you know, when they finish the setup, and they just went across the street to kind of watch. And everybody saw that, and then nobody would leave. So the first day we couldn't shoot, you know, we had to wrap early. So the second day I told everybody, nobody wear black shirt because they love to wear black t-shirt on set. So people know they are making film. So it's like nobody wear black shirt, and you have to dress out like you are just going to a night market, you know. And if you have nothing to do here, you have to go back to the office because we don't want people gathering around. So I think we now have 5 to 6 crew member every day with our actor, and you know, with iPhone, because that's the only way people would not pay attention to us, and that's how we finished the shooting. And I think in the end, some people actually walk by and want to order, you know, with our so you know, we actually asked them to just cook something so they would eat and don't draw any attention.
Yeah, Shih-Ching made the choice to shoot on the iPhone. Based on, you know, previous work we've done together on the iPhone, and I just think it was the perfect format for this. I mean, number one, it looks beautiful. It really does. It's like the 4K iPhone. It's a big leap up, big jump up from what we did on Tangerine together. But the fact that she was able to shoot clandestinely, you know, also what we've learned shooting on the iPhone is that it makes first-time actors way more comfortable, and Shih-Ching was a first-time actor, and perhaps, I don't know, perhaps that helped.
Yeah, definitely, you know, everything helped, and also help other actors, so they don't feel like they are they are putting on a performance, they feel like they are in a real environment, especially that all the locations, they are all working locations. So, you know, it's really like immersive experience for them as well, because the betel nut stand is still selling betel nuts to customers. So it was really fun to, you know, shoot on the real locations.
We've got time for one more, and it's just coming from there.
Well, I first, I want to, as someone who's left-handed and experienced that taboo, I want to thank you for this film. My question would be, if you were to compare this film to a Taiwanese street food, what would it be?
Hopefully not stinky tofu. Because it's pretty stinky if you don't know it. I don't know.
Well, that's all we've got time for. I'm going to ask you two favours. If you did love the film as much as I did, could you please vote for it in the Audience Award, which you can find online? And the second favour is, could you stay in your seats for 2 minutes whilst we get our talent out of the building so they don't have to get squeezed at the doors here? And finally, please join me in thanking Shih-Chin Tsou and Sean Baker.